homelessness and support and solutions. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Hi, I'm Jim Distortion, and if you haven't seen my videos before, please press the subscribe button. When you do that, you'll also see a little bell icon that looks a bit like this, right? Click on that and you'll be told every single time I upload content. So homelessness in this country is rife as we speak. In London, councils are actually physically moving on homeless people and also trying to issue them with writs to give them fines. What for? For being homeless, for being down on their luck, for being mentally unstable, for being ex-military that have ideally given up their freedom and indeed their lives. If there was conflict, they made that choice to protect their country and were rewarded by being left out in the cold, literally. It makes me sick. The way this country treats ex-military. In America, everyone says thank you for your service, but in this country, people say, why don't you just go away and go and live on the street? I think it's disrespectful. I think it's not the way we as a British nation should treat people, especially as the British nation was built on military combat and taking things that didn't belong to us and making them our own, India and things like that. So why are we so negative to homeless people? Why are we so adamant that people should get help, but then they don't? Why are we not able to house ex-military? Why are we not able to look after our mentally ill people? In the 80s, I remember I was living in Somerset and they closed the mental hospital, the Mendip Hospital, which was a massive great thing on the hill. It was a bit like Arkham Asylum, to be honest. So it might have been a good thing to close it down, but all I remember is the fear about care in the community. I remember people saying then, this is going to lead to homelessness. These people can't look after themselves. And, I understand about giving people a freer life and letting them live for themselves, but you can do that while they're observed and, looked after. And I think that's the key. Mental health, everyone is talking about mental health and how it affects everyone, but they're not actually looking at the reality of it. So you come out of the military, you are trained to kill people, you are trained to do a specific job within that military environment. And what you then have is nothing when you come out. You've lost the camaraderie, you've lost the training, you've lost being busy, being fed 3 times a day, not having to worry about where the food's coming from, and then you were dropped into the world without even a paycheck. What happens is people lose the plot. You're told in the military that you are the first line of defense for your country. People depend on you to give up your life to fight for their freedom. And that has happened. World War I, World War II, the Falklands, Afghanistan, the wars in the desert. People have died to protect our freedom and what we do. And do you know how we repay some of those people who come out? We discard them like they don't matter. It makes me angry. It makes me full of remorse. And also then, when they're begging on the street and they're asking for you to give them money, people give their money sometimes a little bit and then go, well, don't spend it on drugs and alcohol. Do you know what? When you give that person a piece of money, a bit of money to go and do something, you don't tell them what to do with it. If he wants a beer to forget what's going on or just to lighten the mood a bit, let him have it. Do you know what I mean? Yes, alcoholism is a terrible thing, but don't give someone something and then tell them how to do it. Right? You giving them a bit of money out of your pocket doesn't rob you in any way, shape or form. I do it a lot, right? And I'm not very well off, but all I do is give them the spare change that I can afford. I'm not skinning myself to do it. But what I'm also saying is don't judge people when they're homeless. You don't know their backstory. You don't know how they got there. Would you feel the same if you listened to that person tell you who they are and where they come from? I was first cadre Marines and now I live on the street because nobody looked after me when I came back and I've got PTSD. That kind of thing is happening day in, day out. And quite frankly, you and me and everyone else, we're walking over them tutting because we haven't got the time or the sense to try and help. Now, obviously, you can't go around homing everyone, but what you can do is you can support homeless charities that actually help. Also, I think it's time that some awareness was raised and people were told about people like Drew Goodall. Drew Goodall was a homeless man. He started out as an actor. He's a homeless man who then started cleaning shoes to get himself out of the gutter. And do you know what he had to do? He had to run away every time he saw a policeman, because those policemen would stop him from doing that business because it was an illegal business and they wanted to move him on. So in between dodging the old bill, then what he did is clean people's shoes. And then one day a businessman saw what he was doing and said, look, come inside my business, right? We get hundreds of people through each day and you can have a safe place to work. That one piece of kindness cost that businessman nothing, and in fact enhanced his business, because his own employees could then get a shoe shine for £2, right, and then feel a little bit better about themselves because they'd given it to somebody who needed it. Also, no longer did he have to run around, hiding from people. That business now employs, 8 to 12 homeless people, and also people with learning difficulties, challenged peoples, ex-military who can't cope, right? But they can shine shoes, they can smile at people, and they're protected. They also earn £175 to £300 a week, depending on who they do, get help with their benefits, and they're helped. That is the leading light of how people can do it. They don't want your handouts. Yeah, well, some of them do. But if they really are into getting off the streets, then they will take help to put themselves back up. Yeah, don't patronise people. Don't offer them £5 and think you've offered them the world. Yeah, if you can give some money to them to make their day better, that's great. Long term, more and more businesses, maybe we could all have a look at see how to help properly, but also give money to those charities that are genuinely helping them. And also, next time you see someone who served in the military who maybe isn't down on their luck or they're up in the world, thank them for it, because I think that's a great trait. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, that'd be awesome. Up here is the last video we did. Have a watch, because it's really good. And this one's picked by YouTube for you, because they know more about you than I do.